But since I have a long drive, I'll just this will be about hunting packs. So I just wanted to make a quick video. I'll try and keep it 5 minutes long. Hunting packs. You don't have to pack this crazy giant hunting pack with all this stuff in it. Like, if you're gonna, use your brain, what are you gonna go do? Are you gonna sit in a tree stand for the whole day? Are you gonna be in a blind all day? Are you gonna be hiking 10 miles? Are you gonna be hiking within like a mile circle around your truck? Are you even, are you super tired? Are you not super tired? Are you feeling pumped up and it's no problem? Your boots affect what your pack is feeling like. For me, I like lightweight boots that are easy to, especially when I'm hiking. I like lightweight boots that are making it easier for me to walk with weight on my back. What do I pack in my pack? I always have a water bag thing with the straw, always, with electrolytes in it, always, or water bottles with liquid IV. I always usually keep a lighter, a knife, some kind of friggin' Band-Aids or whatever, little first aid crap. I keep a GPS in my bag. Let's see here. Beef jerky. I really like beef jerky. Some good beef jerky. Maybe a couple sandwiches. Toilet paper. Come on, dude. Toilet paper. Jelly beans. I learned that from watching military guys and what they would keep in their packs, or whatever, when they're out for days and days on end with no sleep. They keep, a lot of them guys keep jelly beans in their pocket, like a bag full of jelly beans. I usually keep all that stuff that I'm talking about. I'll wrap it up in paper towels to keep it quiet because I don't like stuff to make noise in my bag. Bullets. More bullets. That's a must. A lot of times I'll bring my spotting scope in that bag. More bullets. Just all the basic stuff, man. In case you get stuck out there. A lot of people would take more clothes or a blanket or something or whatever, but I usually wear enough clothes that if I ever broke my leg or my arm or something crazy, or I fell or whatever, I'm usually feeling pretty confident that I have some warm clothes on, or at least some backup stuff in the bag. But I try and keep it lightweight. I build the bag prior to going out hunting based on the weather, where I'm hunting. Is it the early season, the normal season, the late season? For a new guy, like, don't overpack your bag, man. Keep it as simple as possible, like the acronym KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Easy stuff, man. I mean, you'll learn from doing it so many freaking times and ripping it back apart, putting it back together. And honestly, I just use a cheap bag almost every single time. I have like a cheap, like $30, $40 camo backpack, and then I just stick my little Camelback, whatever. I don't know if mine's even a Camelback. It's like a knockoff. Just a cheap one of those water bags, and I always make sure it's full. I drink water before I leave the house. I drink coffee before I leave the house. Oh yeah, caffeine. I'm big on that. I always have some extra caffeine with me. I bring ibuprofen. Usually always I got a little baggie of ibuprofen in case, because when you get out there, for me, I've been a plumber for 22 years. My knees are bad, so, I just had a knee surgery in the last 5-6 years or whatever, and now my other one's acting up, and now the original one's acting up. And anyway, long story short, I just keep whatever it's going to take to keep me out there as long as I can possibly be out there in that spot, or all day, or whatever. And every hunt's different. Sometimes if I'm not seeing any deer after walking for miles and glassing like a huge amount of terrain. Then I'll pick up and head back to the truck and move to a new spot just to get to a new fresh area. It all depends. And like I said, just your pack should be based on what you're doing. Like I said, if I'm going up in the tree stand and I'm going to be up there for a whole weekend or whatever, getting up in the morning, coming down for lunch, and then going back up till dark, like I said, my pack is just, it's based on what I'm doing that day. It's based on how hungry I am at the time. Am I super hungry or feeling super hungry? Or, you got to think about, are you going to be hungry later? A lot of people, I think that they can pack too much food, which is a total thing. I've done that a lot too. And you can pack not enough food. And then you can make your hunt suck, because when you got to walk out miles, back out, now you're just, you're relying on, you know what I'm saying? You're walking out a long way. And then for me too, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I keep these little nicotine quit smoking tubes. They're like miniature, like little mini lozenge things. If you're on nicotine or whatever, like don't forget your freaking can of chew, and for me, I would never smoke a cigarette while I'm hunting anyway. And I don't think I ever have, because that's just, I don't know if some guys do that and and it doesn't matter, but I would say if you're gonna go hunting for a long period of time, like a whole day, put some in your, you chew or whatever, or your Zins or whatever you're doing, put some of that in your pack. Don't forget that. Don't forget the crap that's gonna feed the need while you're out in the middle of the woods for freaking 10 hours straight. But yeah, man, a tourniquet, take a bandana, put a bandana, I learned that from watching military videos too. Like, put a couple bandanas in your pack, or tie them onto your gun or whatever. Just be smart, pack light. Like, think about what you're actually capable of doing when you're out there. Like for me, if I'm not feeling it and I'm, it all just depends on the day, man. It all just depends on the day or what I'm doing. And a lot of times too, you think that you need to bring, like, here's another thing about your hunting pack. A lot of guys, they're like, oh, I gotta have a pack out frame and it's gotta be fully loaded with game bags and blah, 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 blah. Well, that's great if you're hiking 5 miles in, or 3 miles away, or 2 miles away, and that's cool, but that stuff's heavy. Like, use your common sense. Like, is this deer gonna get shot, a quarter mile away from your truck? And is the road system or the little trail system, are you able to get your truck closer to it? And I've packed a way big pack several times, hoping to get a deer way down in big holes and way far away from the truck, and to get nothing. I still have yet to use my pack out, or had to use it, because it's just the way it's went. Not to say like, and I still have never done an actual backcountry hunt where I camped out there and didn't come back until we had deer, or that was the plan or whatever. But I guess I've just kind of gotten lucky that I've done it all fairly close to the truck. But yeah, that's my point to this video. I just had another minute to make another one, and I thought I'd post one for whoever. But just your hunting pack, like, it's all in what you're trying to do. And it's, deer aren't really that heavy. They are heavy, but they're not that heavy. you can drag one a lot further than you think, especially when you take the guts out. You can drag one a long ways, you know, especially if you got two of you, another guy, then it's way easy, or you got a quad or something like that to retrieve it quickly, then it's not that big of a deal, you know. So this just goes out to all the new hunters who are wondering what to put in your hunting pack. Like, put in there, like, not wants but needs, you know. Put in there what you actually need in case of an emergency, or, you know, like, I like the rope, you know, the army rope or whatever, the paracord. I put a lot of paracord, you know. I'll just bundle up a big old freaking like a ball of it or whatever I got, and just tuck it down in one side, you know, because you can never have enough paracord. That stuff works for everything. So I like to keep that with me. A knife, come on, I mean, you gotta have a knife. You know, my binoculars I wear right here on my chest, and it's just a quick release, just whoop, and, you know. Anyway, the whole point is, over time, I like to pack light, because at this point, I feel like the only time I ever want to pack heavy again for me is if I'm going to actually go do a real, like, crazy hike, like, super far away, and sleep out there. Like, I'm not into that packing the giant pack, and sometimes I am. If I'm gonna just keep on getting to the next point slowly and stopping and glassing for a long time and sitting there and glassing really far away, then yeah, I'll do that. But it's just really, I really like to pack light, because everything's heavy when you're out walking around for hours and hours and hours, you know. It can get heavy. So yep, this video is kind of just about your hunting pack, you know. And no, you don't need some $500 freaking bag to to go out and hunt, even though those are super sick and I wish I could afford one. You know, you really don't need that. You could use your kid's freaking JanSport bag from school, you know. You can use any bag you have, any backpack. It doesn't have to be camo, but, you know, camo is cool and it blends in. But yeah, that's what this video is about, and hopefully you guys got something from it.